please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Let's move on. And on the Wall Street, stocks rose in trade, adding to solid weekly gains, but their rise was kept in check amid increasing tensions between the US and key trade partners at the G7 summit. The Dow gained 75 points, the S&P 500 gained 0.3% as consumer staples rose more than 1% and the Nasdaq a 0.1% higher. CNBC's Hampton Pearson gets us a wrap of all the action on the Wall Street.
U.S. markets higher on the day. The Dow rising 75 points, the S&P tacking on 8, the Nasdaq gaining 10 points. A leadership shakeup coming to Verizon. The company announcing that current technology chief Hans Vestberg will take the reins as its next CEO. That move becomes official when current CEO Lowell McAdam retires in August. Vestberg, who previously ran telecom equipment maker Ericsson, has a lot of experience in 5G. A sign that Verizon is prioritizing plans to develop a next-generation network. Meanwhile, General Electric shareholders celebrating today as the company issues a quarterly dividend of 12 cents per share, quelling fears that the company would cut the dividend further as part of its turnaround plan. CNBC previously reported that a dividend cut is not part of the plan at any point in 2019. And Kia is recalling more than 500,000 vehicles in the U.S. because of an electrical issue that can cause the airbags not to inflate during a crash. That recall covers various Kia vehicles from the model years 2010 through 2013. That's the action from the U.S. markets. Back to you in Mumbai.
Finance Minister Piyush Goyal met India's top public sector bankers in Mumbai in order to take stock of the NPA problems that were plaguing the sector. One of the key decisions taken at the meeting was the setting up of a new committee under the chairmanship of Sunil Mehta, the non-executive chairman of Punjab National Bank. This committee will look at the possibility of creating an asset management company to fast-track the resolution of big-ticket bad loans. The committee will submit its report in 2 weeks.
A committee has been formed under the chairmanship of Mr. Sunil Mehta, non-executive chairman of Punjab National Bank, which over the next 2 weeks will come out with their recommendations of a suggestion that was deliberated in great detail amongst the bankers today, who believe that it may be worth considering to set up an asset reconstruction company and or an asset management company for faster resolution of stressed assets which have multiple banks involved in these accounts. State Bank, I believe, shared their experiences in the morning amongst the bankers, and there was discussion amongst the bankers about it. The government of India is not going to micromanage what the bankers should do. We have again and again held the view that we believe in autonomy of the banks, and the banks will have to take the final call if at all they have to or they wish to. I think ICICI Bank is a good bank. It is it has very robust processes, and there is no cause for concern for any of the stakeholders of ICICI Bank per se. As far as the law is concerned, the law of the land will take its own course, and the processes are already going on both internally in ICICI and externally, which will finally come out with their findings.
My colleague Ritu Singh, who was tracking the meeting, is here with the key takeaways. Ritu, over to you.
Interim Finance Minister Piyush Goyal held a meeting with public sector bank chiefs in Mumbai for the very first time. And according to the finance minister, on the agenda were issues like stronger risk governance, globalizing Indian banks and improving credit flow. But besides that, the important announcement made by the finance minister was that there would be a committee that will be set up headed by the Punjab National Bank chairman Sunil Mehta that would look into the idea of creating an asset management company or an asset reconstruction company to help resolve India's stressed asset problem. problem. He indicated that this committee will come back with a final report in the next 2 weeks on the feasibility of such a structure and what the capital requirements and other modalities of this ARC or AMC will be. He also did indicate that NIIF could perhaps be a part of the equity support, if at all required, for this structure. Besides this, he also indicated that banks have indicated the need to set up an oversight committee with external experts to expedite the decision-making process in these banks, whether it's NPA management, whether it's credit flow. Also, when questioned several times on consolidation within these public sector banks, the finance minister seemed to indicate that the government wants to keep an arm's length distance and leave it up to the banks to decide whether or not they want to consolidate. But our sources within the banking industry that were also part of meeting indicated that banks seem very keen on the idea of consolidation at this point of time. State Bank of India, in fact, was also, who was part of the meeting, made a presentation on its own experience with the merger, and that was shared with all of the other banks that were present in meeting. Besides this, the finance minister also made his comments on ICICI Bank controversy, where he said that law would take its own course and did not offer any comment on why, the government nominee was absent from the bank's board meetings.
Ritu Singh also spoke to Sunil Mehta, non-executive chairman of PNB and chairman of SBI Rajneesh Kumar. Listen in to what they had to say.
We have to find out-of-the-box creative solutions for dealing with the stress assets for ready resolution because, let's face it, I think by putting or moving them towards NCLT is not the right solution for en masse they're going into the NCLT. So the banks have to figure out how can they resolve those issues well before they go into the NCLT. Are we a capital short country?
Of course we are, sir.
Well, in what ways?
Let's talk about public sector banks.
Well, that's, the capital moves into all those where there's adequate return on capital. So we obviously have to make an entity which is going to provide an adequate return on capital. So I don't agree with you that we are a capital short country. We need to use our capital far more effectively.
There is a need for scale. The banking is too fragmented. And we shared our own experience and how it has helped the bank. So it is some sort of a food for thought. Nothing beyond that.
Yes, sir, but given that the DFS was in the room, is there any keenness shown by other banks to, copy the model that you've done or take some experiences from it?
That is after sharing of our experience and listening to it. Now it is up to the banks that what do they do.
India will cross 8% growth in next 2 years. That's an optimistic target by Commerce Minister Suresh Prabhu. The surge in growth, Prabhu believes, will be due to few strategies that are now yielding fruit. He added that the new industrial policy will be out soon and that it will propel fourth industrial revolution in India.
Year 18, that's calendar year 18, will be, or you can even say financial year, will be better. So 16-17, 17-18 has been better than 16-17. 18-19 will be better than 17-18. And I should not be surprised that in the next few quarters or say next 2 years for sure, will be very close to or will cross 8% growth rate. India will be touching $5 trillion economy. So how that $5 trillion should look like? It will happen. So that again is that our both commerce and industry, we are preparing a plan of $1 trillion, that's 20% of that GDP, should come from manufacturing. $3 trillion will come from services, for which Commerce Department, we prepared a plan for champion sector, 12 champion sectors. For 5,000 crores, we already set aside, Cabinet has approved 12 champion sectors, which will propel India into a global trajectory for services as well.
Well, those are some positive comments from Mr. Suresh Prabhu. But let's move on. Max Life decides not to pursue a deal to buy stake in IDBI Federal Life, and Aditya Birla Life is now the sole bidder for the asset worth around 6,000 crore rupees. Yash Jain joins us with more details. Yash, tell us what has dissuaded Max Life from this acquisition, and does this mean that Aditya Birla is likely to get this deal now?
Before making it official on the exchanges, the chairman of Max Group had already expressed the intention on CNBC TV18 that if the conditions placed by the company are not met by IDBI Bank and Federal Bank, then they will walk out of the deal, and exactly what they've done. They've informed the exchanges that they've decided to walk out of this acquisition deal of IDBI Federal Life Insurance. They've also dropped the plan of raising 5,000 crore, which they were intending to do so to support this particular acquisition. What were these deals? On the bancassurance front, they were seeking an exclusive bancassurance tie-up for a period of 10 years. Also, productivity guarantee on this bancassurance tie-up, as well as indemnification if these promises are not met. Now, IDBI, I'm given to understand that IDBI Bank and Federal Bank did not come back to Max with a proper response on these particular demands, exactly what triggered Max's decision to walk out of this particular deal. Coming on to your second question on the Aditya Birla Sun Life Insurance, of course, things as they stand at the moment, Aditya Birla is the sole bidder in this particular contest to acquire IDBI Federal Life, but these conditions, what I'm given to understand, are unlikely that IDBI Bank and Federal Bank will be able to put them on the paper in the form of an agreement. And if that happens, then maybe Aditya Birla Sun Life will also not agree to buy IDBI Federal Life Insurance, because one needs to understand that these are the most crucial and value accretive elements that one is looking for in this particular deal.
Thanks a lot for that, Yash. Well, Inox Wind will be in focus in trade on Monday, as the company has informed exchanges that the independent auditors, Patnaikar and Associates, have expressed their inability to continue as auditors due to time constraints. The audit firm was appointed for a period of 5 years. After receiving as many as 42 queries relating to the strategic sale of helicopter services provider Pawan Hans, the government has extended the last date for submission of expression of interest for the strategic disinvestment to June 18th. Remember, the earlier deadline for submitting EOI for Pawan Hans was June 11th, and the government is looking to divest its entire 51% stake in the company. Sri Sri Ravi Shankar's consumer goods brand Sri Sri Tattva is pushing the pedal on growth. It has brought us a US-based luxury Ayurveda brand Shankara to India, and also plans to open 1,000 Sri Sri Tattva stores over the next couple of months. Priya Sheth caught up with Arvind Varchaswi, MD of Sri Sri Tattva, on the way forward.
So this is a nationwide launch. So we're planning around about 50 exclusive stores in the next 3 years. And we are also seeing that we tap the online segment to this. This being a very exclusive brand, and the products also being more targeted towards skincare. We would like to see that we bring across an experience center. So this wouldn't be like a mass sort of a store strategy that what we would normally do in Sri Sri Tattva.
Talking specifically about Sri Sri Tattva, over the last year, we've heard companies like Patanjali in the space say that the year's been bad because of GST and demonetization. Did you also, experience such, drop in sales or perhaps some reduction in revenues?
Yeah, so if you look at it, GST has been, a point of concern. And definitely there has been a little slowdown in the market, but we've seen that, the market is also picking up, and, so as, the business as well. But in terms of whether the GST has been having, a major impact on our business, I wouldn't say as much, but definitely it has had a little bit of an impact. But I would say that this impact is good, whereas you're bringing in more structure and organizing into the market. So definitely it is a welcome move, as what I'd mentioned to you, a couple of months back.
I also wanted to understand with regards to the overall expansion plan. You had said that you're looking at expanding the whole franchise base as well as independent stores. So run us through that plan.
Yeah, so this plan is going across extremely well. As what I told you, we're launching around about 1,000 stores across the nation very soon. So we're opening about 114 in Delhi itself. Our store even in Mumbai is going to be coming across very soon near Khan Market as well. So we're very excited about it, and these 1,000 stores are going to come across very soon. We've focused on products of daily use.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived in Qingdao in China, where top leaders of India, Russia and China and some of their close allies will connect to commence the annual Shanghai Cooperation Organization Summit today. The summit will explore concrete ways to bolster cooperation in the fight against terrorism, extremism and radicalization, besides deliberating on pressing global issues. Prime Minister Modi is likely to articulate India's position on dealing with major challenges facing the world. And monsoon is finally here and Mumbai braces for heavy rains as the Indian Meteorological Department has again alerted West Coast areas about the possibility of extremely heavy rainfall in parts of the region during next 2 to 3 days. Utkarsh Chaturvedi joins us live from Andheri. Utkarsh, what's the situation like and the status of local trains and the traffic?
Sunil, at this point of time, the rains have calmed down, but there were heavy spells of rain earlier in the day, and we started getting reports of waterlogging in the city. Now, it's a relief for Mumbaikars at this point of time because it's a Saturday, it's a semi-working day. But remember that a couple of days back when it rained heavily, there were issues of traffic jam. And as you said, this will be a litmus test for the BMC government this monsoon. As last monsoon, if you remember, there have been at least a couple of days where you really saw the city coming to a standstill. And remember, this is the second time when in BMC, BJP has a lot of seats. There are 82 corporators from BJP. That will be a big challenge for the city. And this is an issue which Mumbaikars have been facing every monsoon. You know, we call ourselves the financial capital. The taxes in Maharashtra and Mumbai are really high, and that is what Mumbaikars complain every monsoon of proper drainage facilities. So this will be a litmus test, as at this point of time IMD has warned of heavy rainfall. Till at this point of time, it is relief for the Mumbaikars. One, it is a Saturday and rains have slowed down at this point of time.
Well, thanks a lot for that, Utkarsh. And yeah, we'll watch out for what really happens in the city in this weekend. But here's a report by SkyMet on the weather conditions for today.
Hi, this is Bhumika and you're watching SkyMet Weather Report. After reaching Maharashtra, southwest monsoon is now likely to reach Mumbai in the next 24 hours. Mumbai has been recording moderate rains and we expect similar activity to continue for the next 24 hours as well. However, South Konkan region might see some good rain and thundershower activities. Meanwhile, coastal and interior Karnataka along with Kerala would see light to moderate showers with 1 or 2 heavy spells. Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Tamil Nadu will witness subdued rains today. Let us have a look at the central parts. East Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh and many parts of Maharashtra would see light to moderate rains. Up in North India, dust storm and thundershowers are likely over few parts of Punjab, Haryana, North Rajasthan, Delhi NCR and Uttar Pradesh on Saturday. However, Uttarakhand and parts of Himachal Pradesh might also see rain and thundershower activities. Meanwhile, in East and Northeast India, Jharkhand, Odisha, parts of West Bengal and Bihar might see light to moderate showers. Northeastern states along with Sikkim would see good rain and thundershower activities in the next 24 hours. Let us have a look at the day temperatures across India today. Delhi is likely to see 40 degrees Celsius while Jaipur would see 41 degrees Celsius. Mumbai would record its day maximum at 30 degrees Celsius while Ahmedabad will settle at 40 degrees Celsius. Down south, Bengaluru will see its day temperature at 28 degrees Celsius and Chennai's temperature would settle at 38 degrees Celsius. That's all for now. Thanks for watching SkyMet Weather Report.
Well, that was about the weather report, but that's all we have on this edition of Business Saturday. For all news and updates, stay tuned to CNBC TV18.